Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and today's video is going to be an update on what exactly I bought or sold today, and especially related to the DraftKings play that I was talking about yesterday, as well as another exciting play that I made today that actually got me over 110% returns. So that was a pretty good play, and one of the main reasons why I'm actually going to be deciding what to do with DraftKings here. So like I said, just an update on DraftKings. Now, yesterday I explained that they were reaching these levels where we previously saw a lot of bull action come into the stock's price. But unfortunately, today we're not really seeing that same kind of push to the upwards direction that I would have liked to be seeing and what we've seen in the past. Now, it does still resemble this last time they were down at these price levels. However, it doesn't really show that momentum that we need to the upside in order to kind of get out of this position. Now, in the other day, I was talking about how RSI was showing us that we clearly needed a time to bounce here. We are due for a bounce. The stock is extremely oversold. However, we know that that's as a result of the news that we got with the 1.7 billion that they added in new shares and that they added them at the $52 price range. And as such, there's a lot of investors trying to get in for under $52. Now, like I said, I was going to be looking to buy somewhere between 100 and 150 shares. And I really want to show you exactly how many I bought and how long I'm going to hold them for. So like I said, in DKNG, that's DraftKings stock, I bought around 120 shares, and throughout the day, I just added to my position, and I even bought some at today's daily low, and you can see that my average trade price turned out to be around 50.16. So that's less than $1 away from where we're sitting now, and I'm really thinking that this stock can pick up in the short run. They're probably going to pick up on Monday, Friday, etc. They can definitely get back out of this hole. So I'm not worried about this, and I'm definitely not going to sell out at a loss, and especially not after this other play that I want to show you guys today, which it was on Datadog. Now, Datadog is a company that I talked about 2 or 3 days ago, and what I essentially said about the company is that they were at a very good position to break to the upside. And even though they just had a move to the upside, they were in a period of consolidation where it was very obvious that they were going to take off again. And you can see that I was able to capitalize on this opportunity very strongly. And I picked up some October 16 calls for the 120 price, the strike price. And I sold them out literally a couple minutes after I bought them, around 30 minutes after I bought them. You can see that here on filled orders. I bought them around 758 and I sold them around 823. Now, this was another group of them that I sold because I wanted to kind of shorten my position. I wanted to make it a little smaller as I wanted to buy a lot more shares of DKNG at the price lows. However, you can see that they were able to produce a very good profit here, and I had around 7 contracts and they produced a gain of $552. Now, I bought these at around the $75 price. So the fact that they sold at around 155 was a double of my money basically, or a little bit over double. So I'm really happy about that, and I'm glad I was able to make that trade because it just allows me to hold DKNG for a little longer and kind of confirm that what we're seeing is true. Now, I just want to show you exactly what I'm talking about with Datadog as well. Now, like I said, over the last few days, they really rocketed up around 30th of September, which was around 7 or 8 days ago at the beginning of last week. And you can see that since then, they were just consolidating and consolidating. And then today we saw an incredible move to the upside where they went all the way from their lows of 102, the lower part of this channel, all the way to around 107. And I was watching them around the 107 for a potential break to the upside. And that's exactly what happened. All the way from around 106.50 to 112 and 113, I was able to ride these contracts up, and they produced over 100% gain, and I really literally sold them at the top of the chart. You can see here that their tops were around 112.70 or 113, and I literally sold them around 112.80. So even though I didn't sell them at the highest price, the price that they're worth right now, which is the mark, is going to be almost less. Well, it literally is $10 less than what I sold my contracts for. So the fact that I sold them off the initial move is going to prove that basically it was a great time to sell them, and the fact that I sold them at the highest price they were possibly going to be worth. Because of the fact that these prices have already been tested, these contracts are kind of sitting a little bit lower now at the end of the day, although I do think that they have a potential to run higher tomorrow or even the day after with the SPY and with stimulus just announced. Now, As far as my DKNG position, DraftKings, I know a lot of you guys were asking me whether or not I'm going to hold my shares. Yes, I'm going to hold my shares. Now, in the short run, I was looking here on the 5-minute time frame to see whether or not they were going to set up a double bottom around $49. And it looks like maybe they're trying to break below. I'm not really worried about that. Unless they break out from the rectangle here, I'm not going to consider a trade to the downside. And even if there was a trade to the downside to be made, I could just sell calls on the company and basically make back my money because I have already 100 shares. So regardless of what happens, the fact that I have 100 shares really protects my position because I could do some kind of a credit spread with the shares that I have. And that's going to be something that really makes me feel confident in the long run. However, you can see that even in the short run, we did see a bounce around this 47 or 48.30, sorry. And looking to the upside now today, it looked like they might be able to break the 50 EMA, which, as I explained in my last video, is going to be the key indicator that tells me that this stock is in an upwards direction. However, you can see that we bounced right off of it and came below. Now, if at any point today they bounce above, they come above this 50 EMA, I'm going to be looking to add shares to my position because I think this is really a good indication that they're going to continue to the upside. However, right now it seems like they're just paused, and even though they had a good bounce with the stimulus news, they weren't able to hold up the price. And now I'm looking to see whether or not there will be a breakout between these two levels here. Now, earlier in the day, you can see that I was watching them, and basically essentially what happened was they were coming into a small breakout wedge here and they broke down below, and that's why I really didn't buy any more shares until I saw this indecision candle, and then I went in very strongly on the rest of my shares that I could buy. I still have probably room to buy 10 or 20 more shares before not leveraging too much of my account. I never like to put more than 50% on a single trade. So I'm going to be watching this level very closely, but you can see that right now we're reaching the edge of this breakout here, and that's going to be pretty key to see whether or not they maybe break to the upside and close the day very strong, or if they're going to continue breaking down again, then it might be a sign that we need to consider some selling some calls here on this company to continue holding up my position. So just be very careful with this. I wanted to give an update because a lot of you were asking me if I had shares, if I bought any, if I was still holding. And honestly, guys, 1% from the open, or sorry, 4% and $1 or $2 is not really a like a major sell-off that is going to cause me to leave my position out of nowhere. Like, as always, like I say, the stock market in general tends to go up. So the fact that we saw so much selling already means that there could be some kind of an overreaction play to kind of happen here over the next few days. And if it doesn't happen today, I'm pretty confident it will happen on Monday or sometime next week. So I'm not worried about selling out of this position. I'm not looking to take a loss right now, and especially not after having such a good trade with the Datadog options that I'm talking about, which I think could possibly still run into the future. Now, if you want to get live updates like this every single day, a morning watch list, what stocks I'm watching, at what prices, etc., check out my link in the Discord down in the description, and it's going to be actually free to join now for the next few months. I want to show you guys that I can trade and that I make a lot of good trades on a daily basis, and therefore I'm making it free to join for anybody who wants to. Just check the link down in the description. And no longer we're going to have a Patreon, no more Patreon. It's going to be only the Discord for free, all the channels for free. And I hope we can start to create a community over there so you guys can see that I really am a good trader, and see if you really like the service and if you like the Discord, and hopefully you guys can earn a lot of money with the same plays that I'm earning over $50 or $500 on a daily basis with other companies. So as always, guys, just keep a close eye out on these plays. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.